はい、どうも皆さんこんにちは、トックです。チキンポリス続きやっていきたいんですけども、このゲームですね、まあ一旦、なんて言うんでしょうね、ゲームを終了して、また続きからやると、そのシーンの会話の、そのシーンの、こう、なんでしょうね、リセットされた状態から始まってしまうというか、ということで、まあ、ひとしきりバーっと話したり、病院に電話したりしたんですけども、それでもなお、全く変わらない。全く。で、俺はどこで寝ればいいっていうので、まあ、ルイスに電話すれば一部屋ぐらい貸してくれるんじゃないかみたいな言ってたんで、ルイスに電話すればいいんですかね。そういうことなのかな。ルイスの電話番号はこれだ。932ね。高級な暇つぶしが好きと。ちょっと電話してみましょう。もう、それかしかわかんないよ。もしくはもう一回病院に電話するとか、警察に電話するとか、もうほんとそんくらいしかわかんないよ。この部屋でできることってこの電話ぐらいしかないんだよね。
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You won't be put again.
Yeah.
すぐには行かないのかな。とりあえず今日は寝るってことか。そういうこと。なんか地図が解放されたけど、行けるようになった。他のとこに行けない。
Sorry for the mess, Marty. I rarely have visitors.
Don't worry about it, Sonny. I didn't expect anything else.
Thanks.
Thanks. マーティは寝てる間に行くってこと？今、時間はいつだ？わかんないけど。じゃあまあ行けるようになったんで、よかった。ほんとよかったよ。精神病院行こ
う。I slept like I used to sleep years ago. Like a miner or a soldier. Empty. Dead tired. Then I saw Tessa. My darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real. Just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried. But all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing. But her eyes were cold. Then she said something. Painted red. Painted red. Painted red. That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
ふーむ。チャプター4ですか。OK。とりあえず、どうなってんだ？入って早々こんな感じなの？超怖いんだけど。じゃあ左から行くか。奇妙な壁画。 なんだ、狐の王に感謝しろってことか。そういう感じ。
This picture.
It's very...
Special?
窓。
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out.
ふむ。ちょっと住人を後にして廊下。
We should go to reception first.
受
Let them...
あ、受付ミランダ。あ、ここに。あ、あれか。ここ受付か。キリンがいるのかな、ここに。階段。
We should check in first.
住民。
This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
あれだ。サニーの部屋に飾ってあるいくつかなんか額に入った記事とかあるんですよ。絵とか。その中の一つに M.B. デイビスっていう人の話があった気がする。なんかあれよ。なんか R&B のトランペットかなんかの奏者だったかな。
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no, no, no. The poor devil.
いや知ってる人、尊敬する人がこうなるとなんか悲しいよね。なんか悲しいよね。はい。じゃあミランダ。
Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo.
話す。
Of all the great wild ones.
Greetings, miss.
顔が見えないけど、まあ、キリンでしょ
Is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you. The Chicken Police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
新しい個体情報って言ってもな、顔映ってないんだよな。新機能尋ねるね。はい。ありがとう。ファンなのは嬉しいんだけど、顔も見えない。個体情報、首写真ってどういうことなのよ。看護婦ミランダ、キリン、メス。活力と希望とあらゆるものに満ちた女性。欠点があるとすれば、俺たちの大ファンという点だ。致命的だな。精神病院のデスクに座っていた過度なまでに親身な看護婦。ミランダという名前でチキンポリスの大ファンだという。
Sorry, but I still can't believe it's really you.
Neither can we.
You can't imagine how wonderful it is that I can help you in one of your cases. Does this mean it will become a new book? And maybe I will be in it?
Miss, those books aren't really...
Don't even tell me. No. I don't want to know. Let it be a surprise instead.
No, I didn't mean...
Leave it to me, Sonny. I'm good at this. Thank you, miss. Your words are very flattering, and we are honored.
No, I thank you. I'll never forget this day.
We won't either, that's for sure.
We're happy to bring you joy, miss. Anytime.
OK じゃあ訪ねる一つしかない精神病院
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
Dr. Quetzal
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
全部で11人ってことだなで、患者は30人43名のがここにいると
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
セスオス・ケツァルコトル
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho... what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
分かってないな
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so.
奇妙なリストバンド
What can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
施設内でしか身につけないってことはこのリストバンドを身につけた状態のままここから連れ出された遺体だということだよな
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the Chicken Police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
めっちゃ葛藤してるよミランダ
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
番号を見ただけでもうミランダは誰かって分かってたからやっぱりアルバート・ウェスラーはそもそもまずこの施設の中でも有名人な方だったんだな
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
はい、アルバート・タデウス・ウェスラー。
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
まだいるの？
Thank you.
あ、いなくなった。人が一時的にいなくなるときはね、だいたい嫌な予感しかしねえよな。さあ、新しい個体情報。この人だ。セスオス・ケツァルコトル・ドクター。緑錦蛇オス。冷淡で疎遠なプロフェッショナル。どこが気味が悪い？この教授は実に多彩な動物だ。科学者であり、物書きであり、哲学者であり、その他諸々の肩書きを持っている。OK。どうすんだ？廊下。
We need to let them know we're here first.
Dr. Quetzal
Oh,
will
okay.
see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
おいないんだ、やっぱり、すでに。
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly. Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
ふむ。よし。話しかける前に、やっぱりいろいろ見ましょうか。壁。
Your office is, rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. That makes sense. Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal, too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient, am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
鉄格子なんか余ってるか。机。
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
うん、確かに。
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up.
壁。
Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
うん。 じゃあ話しかけますか。
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
From the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
奇妙なケース。
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service. But you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
いや、いちいち言い方が遠回りだな。厄介な相手だな。はい。じゃあ、アルバート・タデウス・ウェッセラ
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
ー。
For quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
なるほど。
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
無償で
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
何
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
ああ。尋問も出てきたな。その前に、精
What
神
kind
病
of a
院。
place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
まあそうだな。マダム・ゼイバース。
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
OK、じゃあ、質問。
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
OK。謎が多い。そうだな。アルバートはいつ病院の患者になったんですか？
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
印象、詳細に執着。アルバートはどんな特別待遇を受けたんですか？イブン・ウェスラーから何らかの方法で脅されたことはありますか？下は別にまだ関係ない話なので上からいきますか。アルバートはどんな特別待遇を受けたんですか？
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Westler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
なるほど。
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
うん。無双化。今の話でどうして無双化って思うのかちょっとよくわかんないけど。アルバートに最初に会った時の印象は、アルバートはあなたとどう接しましたか？彼が他の者にとって脅威だと感じたことは？自然に話す。アルバートに最初に会った時の印象。
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes, he was rather feminine. He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and rather good writer, too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
ああ、アーティスティックなこうセンスというか才能も持ってたわけ？なんていうか、そんなに精神病を患ってるような雰囲気はないが。
Why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
うん。アルバートは多重性格者だったということですか？あ、そういう発想いく？
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
Uh-huh.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
脱出したの？それとも普通になんか申請を出して外に出たのかな？
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
集中すべきこと、細かいことへのこだわり。で、印象混乱中？なんだなんだ？うん。1、私から隠していることがある。そうですね。2、じゃあアルバートは自由に出入りできたんですか？ 3、アルバートが初めて施設から外出したのはいつでしたか？またその理由は？ 4、アルバートはここから出ていくのを許したんですか？1だけちょっと質問としては浮いてるんだけど、今気になってる内容としては、アルバートが外出したのとはいつかっていうこととその理由だな。まあ、自由に出入りできたってことも気になるけど、 まあこの2番と4番は同じような意味合いだからな。3番で
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
あ、イーブンが引き取りに来たのね。
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
あー
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
あーここの方が居心地がいいということか。
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that.
あ、マジで。
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
あの絵はアルバートが描いた絵だったんだな。キャッツェコの部屋にあったやつ。うん。アルバートは絵画を描き続けるために何度も施設から出て行ったんですね。アルバートはお兄さんとの関係についてあなたに話しましたか？アルバートは絵画についてどう思っているかあなたに話しましたか？アルバートはナターシャについてあなたに話しましたか？ちょっとだから似たような質問が多いな。ちょっと一つ考えてしっかり考えよう。4番はちょっとピンとくるな。ナターシャについて話したか。まあ要はそのナターシャをモデルとして書いたんだからその可能性はあるよね。絵画についてどう思ってるか。絵画を描き続けるために何度も施設から出ていったか。アルバートはお兄さんとの関係について、これも気になるが、そうだな。アルバートがその絵のことについてどうのっていうのは、ちょっと外れてっちゃう気がするので、趣旨からね。お兄さんとの関係、ナターシャについてかな、今の話の流れからすると。
Has Albert ever talked to you about Natasha?
Only in superlatives, as if he wasn't talking about a real person, but an ethereal being, about an angel or a demon, something that is not of this world.
And what did you think about his fantasies?
We are in an institution where almost everyone is hallucinating on a daily basis, Mr. Featherland. It didn't really bother me, but the fluctuations of positive and negative were more disturbing.
Thanks, Doc. I didn't understand a word, but I think I get the point.
アルバートは絵画を描き続けるために何度も施設から出て行ったんですね。
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
もしかしてあれか、売春宿に飾ってあった絵も全部アルバートが描いたのか？
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself, and on one occasion he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
うん。
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
うん。
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
マジか。
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
どんなアクシデントだよ。
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
はあ。混乱してることを利用する？利用すると言われても分かんないんだけど、A、1、話すのは辛いかもしれませんが、彼の傷を徹底的に調べましたが、2番、アルバートを連れ戻してきた2頭の男たちですが、どんな外見でしたか？ 3番、アルバートが事故に遭ったとはまさか信じていなかったでしょう。傷を調べる理由なんかあるか？事故に遭ったとはまさかは信じていなかったでしょう。まあね、そうだよねとしか言わないもんな。そう、一番この中で情報として欲しいのは、アルバートを連れ戻してきた2頭の男たちだよね。まあ、ほぼほぼあの2匹だと思うんだけど。
The two fellows who brought Albert back, could you describe them?
Those two fellas, as you put it, were two remarkably huge, rude men.
A ram and a bobcat, perhaps?
No, one of them was a tiger, if I remember correctly. He had a rather fresh bump under his left eye, and the other one was a penguin. But I've never seen a penguin that big in my entire life.
Uh-huh.
Did they tell you anything besides it was an accident?
They didn't say anything, but gave an obvious signal that I had to keep quiet about what happened.
明確な合図。
I see.
マイナス5だってよ。1番目、しっかりしてドクター。事故の後のアルバートの容体はどうでしたか？集中してドクター。アルバートに何が起きたと思いますか？そうだな。アルバートに何が起きたと思いますか？
Concentrate, Doctor. What do you think happened to Albert?
I'm sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men to mutilate poor Albert.
But why would he do that?
Maybe Albert saw something he could accidentally reveal.
To whom? The four walls? A couple of crazies? You?
To anyone, Mr. Featherland.
I don't think it's that simple, Doctor. But thank you for your honest opinion.
You're welcome, Detective.
それからどうなったんですか？アルバートはどのように姿を消したんですか？アルバートがナターシャの秘密を知ってしまった可能性ということかな。
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Oh.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
なるほど。
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
そんなところから人一人連れ出せるとしたら、ザイワスとかそこら辺になってくるんだけど、
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
ありがと
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
う。まあまあまあまあまあ、なんかいまだに 100% になったことないけど、まあまあいいんじゃないですか。うん。OK。OK だ。そんなとこじゃないですかね、今回は。OK、じゃあ今回はこんなところで、そうですね、弟のアルバートは最終的にこの病院から姿を消すまでに結構ダメージを受けていたようですね。そしてナターシャの絵を描かせていたらしいと。まあそういうことになりますかね、今のところは。で、どうするんだろう、この先。まあいいや。話しかけるのかな。はい、じゃあ次回この次から始めていきたいと思います。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。バイバイ。